withstanding powerful natural disasters. Today, whole cities can be devastated by a single flood or earthquake, but in the Golden Age, very advanced technologies will be employed, both in terms of the materials used and the architecture involved, and the infrastructure of cities and individual buildings will be made able to cope with the worst possible conditions. In this way, safety will be ensured by the use of all the possibilities afforded by technology. In the Golden Age, the abundance, wealth, beauty, and progress that prevail at all moments in life will also raise artistic standards. In this period, people will always encounter beautiful things, and the places they live in, their gardens, homes, workplaces, schools, and theaters will all be beautified. Similarly, works with broad horizons and aesthetical appeal will be produced in such areas of art as painting and music. The most important feature of the Golden Age is that it is a time when the moral values of the Quran are fully lived by. This will allow people to experience the beauties of which God informs His servants in the Quran. In one verse, God reveals that He will cause the faithful to live beautiful lives on earth. What is with you runs out, but what is with God goes on forever. Those who were steadfast will be recompensed according to the best of what they did. Anyone who acts rightly, male or female, being a believer, we will give them a good life, and will recompense them according to the best of what they did. In the Quran, attention is drawn to the fact that those environments in which people live in accordance with God's commandments will turn into a kind of abode of peace. We are given the glad tidings that people who abide by the moral values of the Quran will experience greater beauty on earth, and also be rewarded with paradise in the hereafter. God calls to the abode of peace, and He guides whom He wills to a straight path. Those who do good will have the best and more. Neither dust nor debasement will darken their faces. They are the companions of paradise, remaining in it timelessly, forever. By the one in whose hand is myself, definitely the son of Maryam will soon descend among you as a just judge. and he will break the cross, kill the pig, and abolish the jizya, and wealth will be so abundant that no one will accept it. Like all the other prophets, the prophet Jesus is a chosen servant charged by God with calling people to the true path. However, the most important characteristic which sets the prophet Jesus apart from the other prophets is the fact that he will return to earth. Contrary to what many people think, the prophet Jesus was not killed by being crucified. The fact that he was not killed is made crystal clear in the Quran, and we are told that God raised him to his presence. In no verse is there any reference to the prophet Jesus dying or being killed. And on account of their saying, "We kill the Messiah, Isa, son of Maryam, messenger of God," they did not kill him, and they did not crucify him, but it was made to seem so to them. Those who argue about him are in doubt about it. They have no real knowledge of it, just conjecture. But they certainly did not kill him. God raised him up to himself. God is almighty, all-wise. The truth revealed by God in this verse is clear. Incited by the Jews, the Romans attempted to kill the prophet Jesus, but were unsuccessful. The prophet Jesus was not killed. God raised him up into his presence. In addition, certain information given about the prophet Jesus in the Quran may possibly come about in only one way: with the return of the prophet Jesus to earth. The verse to contain indications that the prophet Jesus will come to earth a second time is the 55th verse of the 3rd surah. When God said, "Isa, I will take you back and raise you up to me and purify you of those who disbelieve, and I will place the people who follow you above those who disbelieve until the day of rising. Then you will all return to me, and I will judge between you regarding the things about which you differed." The expression, "I will place the people who follow you above those who disbelieve until the day of rising," in the verse refers to a situation that has never yet been experienced. According to this must be a society which abides by the prophet Jesus and will live until doomsday. Such a society can only emerge with the return of the prophet Jesus to earth. Those who follow him during that return will be made superior to the disbelievers until doomsday. In verse 159 of Surah 4, God gives us very important information about the situation of the prophet Jesus. There is not one of the people of the book who will not believe in him before he dies, and on the day of rising he will be a witness against them. According to the verse, there must be a time when all Christians and Jews believe in the prophet Jesus. This never happened when the prophet Jesus was alive. So in that case, the prophet Jesus will return to earth, and this, like everything else foretold in the Quran, will come to pass. all Christians and Jews would believe in the prophet Jesus. There is a great deal of information in the Quran about the prophet Jesus being sent back to earth.